Hello, my name is Valerie White, and I am a clinical social worker and the founder of Magical Minds. Today, I would like to speak with you about engaging youth who have been exposed to racial trauma. This trauma could look like their own racially motivated encounters with officers or families. It could also look like watching African Americans and other minorities killed at the hand of law enforcement on social media or on the news. These youth are constantly bombarded by continuing conversations around these violent crimes within their communities, maybe protests, and even within their own family. The youth may not always have the words to acknowledge their symptomology, and that's okay. What's important is that you are aware of the symptoms. Some of the trauma symptoms you might see in clients are dissociative reactions. This is when somebody acts as though the traumatic event is happening all over again. You might find youth who run from the police or respond in an aggressive or an exaggerated manner when there's actually no guilt. You also might see youth that are really triggered by things that symbolize the trauma. This might be as simple as an officer being near or even being in custody. Another symptom is persistent, exaggerated negative beliefs or expectations about oneself or others in the world. For example, some youth may feel like all police officers are bad. Other youth may be unwilling to engage with you because they have no belief or hope that the judicial system will work for them. Another trauma symptom that you will see is reckless or destructive behavior, or sometimes angry outbursts, be it verbal or physical, without being provoked. Now, this is really confusing as a provider, but always remember that it's even more confusing for the person who's experiencing this. There are 4 things that I would like you to consider when working with juveniles who have been exposed to racial trauma. 1, your position is a position of privilege and power, and that all by itself is intimidating. When engaging a youth who's been exposed to racial trauma or really any trauma, as much as possible, relax your attire. Relax the way you would engage with them. For example, if I was welcoming you to a conference, I would say, "Good morning and welcome to this professional conference." However, if I was working with a juvenile, I might say, "What's up? How's your day been?" We have to know how to switch to give a person a feeling of being accepted and that we understand their culture and what they have been experiencing. 2, all trauma, especially racial trauma, given its pervasive nature, makes victims feel as though they have lost control. It can also make them feel powerless. Whenever possible, give that control back to them through choice. For example, you may say something like, "Where would you like to start the conversation today?" Or when welcoming them into a room, you may say, "Where do you feel most comfortable sitting?" Now, this seems very small, but can be very powerful to a person who feels powerless. 3, there's a lot of shame attached to trauma. No one wants to feel like something is wrong with them or shameful about them. Acknowledge the wrongdoings of their victimizers and empower them as much as you can by acknowledging their worth and their intrinsic value as a human being. 4, be aware that extreme independence or the position of "I don't need anyone's help" is a trauma response. Let them know that it is okay to not be okay. Normalize that everyone needs help sometimes. Give them the freedom to engage when they are ready, but let them know when they are. It is your job to advocate for them, to listen to them, and to support them to bring about social justice in their case. Thank you in advance for your commitment to mental health and social justice.